So if you're somebody like me that appreciates all Ultimate Team modes in general, and you just so happen to not have played MyTEAM before, or you're just jumping into MyTEAM and are a little behind, this is the you stumble upon the right side of YouTube. Here's the best possible team you can make to start MyTEAM, and only for 25,000 MT. Starting at the point guard, we have Emerald Tony Parker from the Handles collection. Best possible and cheapest point guard you can get for 3,000. Has a 90 layup and a great mid-range and is fast as shit. After that, we have the star of your team, who is Sapphire, Quentin, Richardson, also the hardest card to get at this point. This is going to be the harder part of getting up to your team. Reason being because you're going to have to get to 175 cards, meaning you're going to have to just jump into some domination with a shitty team, jump into Gauntlet, maybe open some packs, but 175 is not hard to get to, and when you do get to it, you get this 84 overall Sapphire Q Rich, and the moment you get him, you have to go and grab yourself a Kyle Korver to activate his dynamic duo boost and boost him up to an 88, making him a Ruby. Now that is a star to start your team. At the 4, we're going to have Big Shot Bob, and he's just going to be one of the people you get on the way to Q Rich, so you don't have to do anything special. He's just a pickup along the way. A great stretch forward, going to be able to hit the 3 and rebound very well. Basically just there to fill the role as needed. Finally, at the starting 5, we're going to have Hassan Whiteside, and I think the center is the most interchangeable position on this team depending on who you want, but I think Whiteside is the best and most all-around one because he's going to rebound, block shots, and he actually has a small mid-range, so it lets the defense have to be able to stay honest on him and not leave him completely open. Now jumping onto your bench, we have the greatest, possibly the greatest 6-man of all time. This Handles card probably goes for around 2.5k, and he is actually such a goon. You can't even put him at point guard if you don't run him at shooting guard, but I do suggest you have him somewhere on your bench. Next up, we have Demar Derozan alongside Lowry for the cheapest dynamic duo possible, and using this one as your bench. And really, I picked this one because of how good it makes Derozan. He gets a 90 contested mid-range, and his 3-pointer jumps up to a 76. It makes him a great go-to scorer off of the bench. Lowry is nothing too special with his boost. He's still small and kind of has a little man syndrome. Finishes some layups here and there, but he doesn't really hit shots for me anyway. But there is a substitute for him coming up. I only want to make sure he's on the team so you can use him on the court from time to time when you need the Derozan boost. I know what would be a starter team without the poor Zingod himself. I'm picking him because of who I'm picking as the bench 5 as well, so when you have both of them, nobody's going to get in the paint. He's a good role player just like Ori. He's going to block shots and hit shots, and that's all you really need of him, and rebound as well. Finally, at the bench 5, we're going to go with the Birdman. I'm sure some of you thought that DJ would have been a better alternative, but actually Birdman has a higher block and a higher driving dunk. His driving dunk is a 95, and his rebounding is just as good as DJ, so why not go with him for the sake of that? And I think some of his defensive stats are higher as well, and if that isn't enough convincing, he's cheaper than DJ as well, so make we just be as frugal as fuck for the sake of making that 25k budget. And finally, for your 3 reserves, I won't go too deep into them stats because truthfully they're here just for substitutes whenever you need a situation. We're going to go with Chris Bosh for more post-ups because he can hit the post fade away, the hidden gem 3J McCollum if you need a sharpshooter, and the point guard reward Jay Williams for 75 cards, the first reward card you get basically on the team when Lowry wants to not be shit, because truthfully he's just there for Derozan's boost. But that is the team, and take a look at this. We're going up against as one of the best teams money can buy right the fuck now. Jesus! So if you're starting with this team, I definitely want to recommend you guys look up an offensive strategy of some sort. If you don't have a playbook with some plays that you like to use,
and boom goes the dynamite,
I definitely suggest looking up how to do the flow motion offense or the pace motion offense for the sake of being able to have something go-to score with, because you don't have a post option and all of your players aren't necessarily that great, so you want a way to score.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Okay, you're definitely going to have these stretches that you see where I just start off the game firing on all cylinders, but there will be a time where your team slows down and you need a way to get a decent enough shot off just to maintain your lead as the game goes on. I try to score in transition when I can with these mid-range jump shots, because transition defense is still kind of a horrible thing if people won't focus on it. And in the half court, if I don't run a play or use a set offense, I give it to that go-to Ruby Star Q Rich and knock down those fucking C pluses in people's faces. Let me tell you, yo, when you have that boost on him with the Korver, he is actually a go-to. It's so weird.
And Dennis Rodman with the slam.
That will also happen. You will get fucking wrecked from time to time because this isn't a diamond team or a top tier team. Dennis Rodman posterizes the fuck balls out of me, but thankfully Ginobili comes through with the and one. And the irony of this team is not only is it smart to take advantage of transition offense because transition defense is so bad, this team is geared for that.
And boom goes the dynamite.
You have shooters, you have athletic finishers, and you have people that are there to fill the roles around them.
Bruh. Sit the fuck down.
And that is exactly one of those moments where I mean that you probably need to bring in Jay Williams. He is literally only on the fucking floor for Derozan's boost. I swear to fuck, I hate him. And then he makes this acrobatic shit with David Thompson right down the other end. These are the pains that you will go through when you don't have that diamond squad. And then this is where I say having a set offense is smart. This game slowed down. Now I have Q-Rich coming up off of screens and hitting mid-ranges with that big ass fucking boost. I drive in, I get the collapse, and I kick out to Corver, who still has his use, even though
And boom goes the dynamite.
he's a silver and can still knock it down. Also keeping in mind, this is my first time actually using this squad together. I have not gotten used to who's good with who, what lineups work together, and who I should have on the court at the same time. But I've still been able to have leads and keep the lead and be able to keep the game close when I need it to be. Q-Rich hits him with that. Ooh! 2K make him bum the layup, but still I'm sticking to him. He's my go-to scorer. Run a play, call for a screen, gets him at the top of the key and knock down the C+ mid-range same way. In reality, you really only need a team that can keep you to hang around until 2K allows one of you to pull away, allows one of you to hit a couple momentum shots in a row and let the game be
And boom goes the dynamite.
right out of reach. And if you've been paying attention to this background gameplay, Q-Rich has still actually been carrying the shit out of me from threes to mid-ranges to drives. I was just down by like 7 and the game is now tied, all due to him. Even if you might feel having Corver on the court might be a defensive liability or just a liability in general because you might not utilize him on offense that well either way, it's worth it for the boost, yo. These run down the clock shots, all of these,
And
Q-Rich
boom goes
just
the
fucking
dynamite.
kills it. It got to the point where as soon as I gave him the ball, it became a threat. Look, the jump and just roll by and take the moving mid-range. B-, it don't matter. That is a Ruby Q-Rich, boy. And that is exactly what he's there for, to be able to get the shots and score the points until you get some help like this from Porzingis and one. Every now and again, a teammate will chip in. Now, with a team like this going into the fourth quarter, your goal is to make the smartest decisions possible because usually the guy with the better team, when he sees the game is this close, he's playing a little bit more on edge because you don't want to be the guy with such a good team and end up losing to a team like this. It looks horrible. It really does make you feel like shit, and it happens to all of us. Even when I'm the guy with this team, I get on edge and start raging at everything that this fucker makes. Like, look at this. I drove right in, through the lane, through everybody on the defensive end, and got a layup to get myself right back into it. I'm sure that pissed him off. Those are the kind of plays you need to make because in these situations, you're playing to win, and the guy with the better team is just playing not to lose. Corver in the corner, silver player knockdown, boy.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Up by 9, I cut it to 2 to give myself one chance with 2 minutes left, and all I had to do was make the better decisions, and guess what the fuck happened? This Ruby piece of shit, Kevin Willis, decided to grab 3 offensive rebounds in a row, and after putting them back himself, finds Steph out on the wing, kicks it to this no jump shot having piece of shit David Thompson, and he of course hits a 3 that sealed the dagger in my heart and put me back to sleep. But that is how 2K goes, yo. Point is, that game could have easily swung in my favor. It was just a couple of rebounds and bounces that made the difference. Q-Rich did his thing and everybody kind of did. There were some people I should have did better with, and then I didn't even know the team yet. This was just my first time and I went down to the 2-minute mark with a great diamond and amethyst team. So if you need a starter squad, be sure to look into this, get your practice in, get some plays down, and you can definitely beat just about any team if you fill your roles properly and play the right way because 2K will allow it.